Welcome to your first look, round 3 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. I'm Jason Weigandt. This is brought to you by 6D Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. What's old is new here at High Point Raceway. This billboard turn, it actually used to be over there a long time ago. They've changed the layout of the track pretty much completely over the last half a dozen years, but they brought this iconic obstacle back. Little bit of a dirt, little bit of berm, little bit of rut, but more importantly, if you really want to get aggressive, you could put someone into the wooden billboards, which is the way it was up until 2003 here at High Point. So that's kind of exciting. But what's more exciting than that is the fact that it's our first Eastern race of the championship, and we had a weekend off. So this is really the last chance for the excuses for anyone who's not had a series that's going their way. Just get me East. Just get me to that break. Just give me one extra week to work on the bike or get in shape or get in outdoor mode. So we're going to see who can improve, because there is no doubt who the top riders are in this series. Ken Roczen's won 3 of the 4 motos. He won the overall in Colorado. It was a dominant 1-1, you would say, on paper. But Dylan Ferrandis was just as good. In fact, he passed Kenny for the lead in Moto 1 until his rear brake went away, and then he went off the track. He might have won that one. He came from 9th to 2nd in Moto 2 and ate up a lot of good guys to do it. So those guys are good. Everyone else is trying to catch them as we go into round number 3. That's that class. In the 250s, Jet Lawrence and Justin Cooper have become the top 2 guys. Jeremy Martin got hurt at Colorado, aggravated a wrist injury he already had, was still planning on racing here at High Point, and then he crashed again midweek this week, broke some fingers. He told me it feels like he's being stabbed in the hand with a knife because his finger is broken, and I believe he's going to be out for the weekend, pardon some amazing medical miracle. So it already could be down to the Lawrence brothers. Hunter was on the podium in our last race. He's won a moto here before against Justin Cooper for this title, unless someone uses the Eastern race and the weekend off to step up. And they'll have some new competition here. We're dropping Caleb Russell, the 8-time Grand National Cross Country champion, into the 250 mix. He had broken his jaw in the preseason. He's healed up. He's ready to go. We had a chance to ask Caleb about his expectations and what he thinks of this track at High Point. Let's get a little preview for High Point. We've got Caleb Russell, who is, yes, a motocross racer. Should have already been a few weeks ago. So first of all, what's your condition? I know you had a big crash and injury that kept you out of the first 2 rounds. Where are you at physically?
We're getting back. I would say I'm a little bit ahead of where I left off, but I'm, I should have been 4 weeks past this point. So, I had a 9-week training block kind of set, and we were just at the, not even to the halfway point, and then I had a 5-week setback. So I've been on the bike for 3.5 weeks. Been down at Alden's and just trying to get better. Obviously I want to be able to do well and stuff, and people have way too high expectations for myself. People are going to talk, but it's wishful thinking. I'm glad they think I'm going to do really well and they're excited for me, but I'm keeping it realistic unless it rains. Then we might have a chance to be up there and throw it in the mix. But I just want to. I don't want to go 10 years from now and be like, man, I wish I would have gave it a shot. My off-road career has afforded me the opportunity to be out here and to have some fun and on a great bike, a great team, and just want to do as best I can and try to build on it and have a great summer.
So you're riding in Alden, so you're riding with some pretty legit guys. So does that help you have a clue of where you're at coming in here? Or you don't really know?
No, it does help.
Okay.
But, he's got the sports premier and elite athletes. It'd be like sending a guy, Zach Osborne to ride with me in the woods.
Okay.
It's a big difference.
Yes.
And
you're not beating them during the week. You're admitting that. Okay. All right.
We're trying to work our way up to be competitive, but I feel like I'm in a good spot to be competitive within the class.
Yep.
And maybe with a start, we can throw our name up there, and maybe if it rains, it'll be better. So.
Okay.
Just ready to get out there and have some fun and see what happens.
I mean, it is High Point. There's been a lot of rain races in the past.
It is getting dark back here behind us.
Yeah, what are you feeling? I mean, you said they were throwing in some water down, so maybe they're thinking it won't be so bad? What's your gauge?
Yeah, well, the wind's blowing a little bit right now, and the sun was out, and there's obviously some amateur racing going on, so they're trying to keep the track good for today.
Yeah.
And it dries out. We're in a valley here, so it can rain and get really snotty and slick.
Yeah.
But everything runs to the bottom, so it'd have to rain a lot to make it really bad. But if it's raining during the race, it's going to be slick and sloppy, and hopefully that's the case.
Yeah, for you. You might be the only one saying that. And they brought back the old billboard turn, the berm that is made of wood. Haven't seen it in about 18 years here, but it was iconic. Are you old enough to remember this turn?
I'm very much so old enough to remember the turn.
Congrats.
It's definitely located in a different spot.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit larger than before. But yeah, it's cool. I want to go smack it on the first lap. Maybe somebody will snap some pictures. So.
Dream come true. Caleb Russell's getting to race motocross, not just this weekend. You're in for the season, right? It's the whole deal.
Yeah, hopefully we can stay healthy and have a lot of fun this summer and just try to get better and get more competitive. That's all I can ask for.
Yep. All right, cool addition and a little track preview there from a guy who's at least been hanging out all weekend, checking it out. So there's Caleb Russell, not being shy about the fact that as a off-road racer, he would like to see some mud races. And that's a great topic. Every time you roll in a high point, there is a big history of rain at this race. Although, to be honest, a lot of that was in the original date when they raced in Memorial Day weekend. I know it's only 3 weeks later where it falls on the calendar now, but those 3 weeks have made a huge difference. We've seen some rain at this event before and after, but during the motos, it's been pretty clean. And although there's rain in the forecast, you never know what you're going to get summertime, and it says thunder showers. I do know this. It's actually pretty dusty and hard-packed today on Friday. But you can see firsthand what Caleb was talking about. This entire track is either going up or downhill, and we're in the valley, and then these really gnarly ruts form. We didn't get the ruts we expected at Colorado. The track was prepped differently than a lot of people expected, although some of the riders actually liked it. You're not going to get ruts like this at Fox Raceway and Pala. So there's a few sections like this right now. If it does rain, or if they really, really disc it and water it tomorrow, because they don't think it's going to rain, we might get the ruts that will lead to different conditions, and there's got to be a whole bunch of riders that hope that it turns their season around. Specifically in the 450 class, you already know the names. It has been Struggle Street based on his past standards for Eli Tomac. Cooper Webb, Marvin Musquin out of the top 5 as well. Those 3 riders, 1 top 5 in a moto combined with all of them. And Zach Osborne, unfortunately, everybody, is out. Not just for this weekend, he's out for the rest of the summer due to that back injury. So we are looking at a potential big change in the 450 results compared to previous years unless someone can rally this weekend. Now, there's another rider that actually would like it to rain. I know that sounds so weird. And coincidentally, he's a teammate of Caleb Russell. Let's check up with Max Vohland, who was so spectacular at the beginning of the year. But as far as results go, we don't really know where he stands in his rookie season in the 250s. Here's Max. Yeah, we're checking in with Max Vohland. Not a super mini rider anymore, clearly. Although you're really big for it even when you were on it. Now you're even taller. Did you get taller in like the 2 weeks off?
I got running shoes on. That might be it, maybe.
Got good thick soles. Okay, so I guess we can't really say we know what you have yet. The way these first 2 races have gone, unfortunately, you've had issues both times, right?
Yeah, unfortunately. First round was going amazing, and then bike failure, and then second moto got off to a good start.
Yep.
Went down, and then got up and got 7th, and then second round.
Yep.
Got really sick and was just hanging on for dear life out there.
So what happened? Did you trace it back? Was it like Friday night dinner? Was it the plane? Altitude? What got you? Do you know?
Thursday night dinner.
A Thursday night, okay.
Thursday night dinner, Olive Garden, definitely.
Free breadsticks.
Yeah, definitely not going back to Olive Garden again.
Okay.
We actually cooked our own food this last night, so we're cooking all our own stuff.
So you've actually taken a step to prevent this from happening?
Yes, definitely.
Really?
Not eating out anymore.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep it to myself.
Were you at least trying to do the right thing? Were you carb loading?
Yes. I was eating a lot of pasta, obviously.
There you go. Yeah.
I think it was the soup that maybe got me.
Okay. So, look, here was the question, honestly. You were so fast, who knows? You might have won the first moto of the year, because as you said, the bike started slowing down before you got past for the lead, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was like 2 laps before Martin got me, so I was also checking up myself not to, have it break maybe off of a jump or something.
Yeah.
It's always scary when your bike starts breaking. So,
right.
It could have been a moto win. I definitely think if the bike stayed for sure second.
Yeah. So, okay, we didn't get a result there. Last week you were feeling bad. Like, where do you expect to be, even though you don't really have like a measuring stick of these first 2? Are we saying like podium, or is that too much too soon? What do you think?
I mean, anything's possible, and with weather looking like we might have a mudder this weekend.
Okay.
I'm light, and I've gotten.
You're tall.
tall.
Okay.
3 out of 4 starts have been pretty much top 3.
Yep.
So starts have been amazing, and yeah, I feel like I can be good in the mud. I mean, the last mud race I did was Madeline, and it was brutal. So
that was actually going to be my next thing, Max. I was going to say, can we officially say he has experience in Europe? He's good in the mud, even though it wasn't as much experience as you wanted. You wanted to race a whole year, but did it help a little bit?
Well, it was a month over there, and those tracks were brutal.
Okay.
And
it rained?
Rained the entire time.
Oh,
so
okay.
I only rode either hard-packed mud or deep, wet sand.
I'd say that counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Madeline was heavy mud.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you got a teammate this weekend who raced off-road his entire life. So if it rains, this team is going to be pumped. If it's dry, what do you think? Are you in learning mode, or on any given weekend are you hoping to be up there? What's the strategy this year?
Yeah, my start's been good, so if you start up front, stay up front. So
okay.
That's the plan. You know, top 5 obviously is like, that's the goal every weekend.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe towards the end of the year, start scraping podiums and maybe win.
Okay. All right. Yeah, the starts would help. And the rare team here who's praying for rain, or at least cool with it, if it happens, you're tall enough for it. I can tell you that. Thanks. So we'll see if a turnaround is coming. Maybe Max Vohland gets the result that he couldn't get at the first 2 rounds. Maybe Caleb Russell gets in the mix here, making his season debut. Maybe the riders of the weekend off, the Muscan, Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac group, steps up the game. Or maybe we have the same riders out front. As I mentioned at the top of the show, the 250 class getting very established. Justin Cooper and Jet Lawrence. Is it their championship battle? Is it too early for that? Well, we do know this. There was a little beef between those two last year. I believe they put that behind them. Little aggressive action, battling for the lead at our last race in Colorado, and they both actually said it was fun. So forget the donuts and the dogs on the podium stuff from 2020. 2021, it's just going to be heads-up racing, and they both are fine if it gets aggressive.
Yeah, to be honest, I forgot all about the pretty hard, and you know, it's fun. I want to make it interesting, and you know, no one wants a boring race, so definitely want to give up the lead on lap 1. I don't like doing that, so I made it hard for him, and I felt him get close there a couple times in that turn, and I really felt like I was taking the right line there. I was kind of missing the big braking bumps and you know, the big holes, so I didn't think he would be able to get that close, so I gotta watch it back and see how he did it. But I heard him get on it early, and I knew he was, you know, going to come to the outside to try to block me. And it took pretty much everything I had to keep the bike up. It was, he came across pretty hot, and it's all good. It's racing, and I would do the same thing. So all in all, it was a fun battle. I just wish I could have put a little bit more up of a fight at the end. It just was pretty drained from, you know, both motos. I had, you know, pretty good battles in both motos, and you know, it was a dogfight. So definitely was a little bit winded towards the end there, but I'm sure, I think everyone was. So just gotta, you know, push through that stuff, and yeah, it was a fun day overall, though. A lot of battling.
And finally, as I mentioned, the top of the 450 class has been Ferrandis and Roxon, but you got a couple other riders that certainly have the capabilities to get in here if it gets more rutted than even this. And if it rains, you got to watch out for Aaron Plessinger, who is quietly 3rd in the points. He's ridden very well, and he would be the rider I think that might benefit the most from moving to the eastern tracks. And then there's the always fast Chase Sexton and Adam Cianciarulo. Sexton has had bad starts, early race crashes, so that's hurt his speed from preventing him from getting results. Cianciarulo's been fast early, he's had crashes, and he hasn't had the endurance. But what if we do get more battling between Adam and Kenny, best buds off the track? How's that going to go? It was actually a pretty funny exchange between those two, talking about their relationship and actually being fine with battling for race wins.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. We're pretty transparent with each other and what we're thinking about, you know, what's going on in our lives in the sport and all that stuff. So, yeah, he was definitely not kidding when he said that he was, you know, coming in and wasn't sure where he was at. I mean, he'll tell you, we did a moto together in Elsinore a couple of weeks ago, and I absolutely, you know, I put some time on the man, and he beat me by 36 seconds in second moto. I'm like, come on, man, come on.
That's pretty funny. It's true. I mean, it's all true. It really is.
Okay, that's going to do it for your first look here on Racer X. I'm Jason Weigandt. This is brought to you by 6D Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. That's the big question hanging in the air, is what we watched at the first 2 rounds going to hold up as we go to a different type of track, different type of weather potentially, and with the weekend off. or are we in for some surprises? I think the fans here at High Point would like to see a little shakeup. Fans here are usually pretty rowdy. If it happens, they'll be happy and they'll let the riders know it. Who's going to come out on top round 3? Find out tomorrow. All motos live on Peacock starting at 1 o'clock Eastern. They'll start off the day on MAV TV. Second motos will be on NBCSN on Saturday night. See you then.